Good afternoon. I am Craig Zimmernan, and this is In the Zone, number 71 here. And I've got a gentleman sitting across from me that's known across the area, Marine City, St. Clair, Marysville. Brian Moran, welcome in.
Thank you.
So as I tell people, it's pretty nonchalant, pretty simple. Paul Dingaman behind the camera there will fix it if we make a screw up or something. So
good to know.
Brian, I've known you for a number of years. There's sort of a connection in the sense of your father knew my father and the family because your dad grew up in Marine City.
Yes, for sure.
Tell us where you grew up and who are your parents?
My mom and dad are Bill and Leona Moran. So yeah, my dad grew up in Marine City. Definitely knew the Zimmerman family well. Tell stories of the meat market days. And my mom grew up in St. Clair here. She was a Westrick. So I grew up in St. Clair as well, so my whole life. So, yeah.
So with a family like a Moran and a Westrick, you know or are related to half of St. Clair.
A lot of people, that's for sure, yes.
Yeah. So how about siblings?
2 siblings. I have an older sister, Beth, so she's also in the area, had been in St. Clair, just moved to East China, Marine City. She's been a teacher in the area for a long time, just retired, so her first year of not being back in the classroom. And then a brother, Kurt, he's also in St. Clair here. So
everybody's close to home.
Yes.
When I talked to Beth here a couple weeks ago, I told her you were coming in, and she said the same thing you said. Well, what's he going to talk about? Well, we'll get into that a little bit.
Sure.
So you went to St. Clair High School?
Yes, graduated from St. Clair High School, 1988.
Okay. And did you go to college after that?
Yes. Went to St. Clair Community College for 2 years. Played a little baseball up there. Then after that, went to Western Michigan University, Kalamazoo.
And what did you major in?
Majored in finance, was business and finance.
Okay. So that leads right into working for the bank, Northstar Bank, which formerly was Seaway Bank back when they started.
Correct.
Roughly, what year did you start there?
Northstar Bank, well, as you say, at the time it was formed, local guy, Roy Kletcha, formed it 2001. So, and I had worked for Roy right out of college.
Oh, okay.
Back at another local bank. So, was working at a larger bank and came over to work for Roy in 2001 when he formed Seaway.
Okay.
So then stuck with it, and Seaway was always a sister bank to Northstar Bank under one holding company.
Sure.
So I can't remember the year, 13 or 14, I think, merged to just be Northstar.
So you've been with that bank since it began.
Yes.
So you're probably employee number 2. Roy was number 1.
I'm probably six or 7.
Okay.
Yeah. So
how many? If you said you were 6 or 7, how many are still there today of those 6 or 7 you think that started?
I'm probably the last person still there from the original group, right?
Yeah.
Right. We do have a few other employees. Christine McNabb, our branch manager here, we were part of the commercial and savings, Algonac savings group in the area, way back when. So yeah.
So what's interesting about the dynamics of a small town bank like yours is that when you look at the bigger banks, the mega banks, the Bank of Americas, the Fifth Thirds, I guess Huntington would be one as well. I know, but I'd like to hear it from your standpoint, the difference that you offer, I'm guessing, is a little more personalized service.
That's what we hope.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we're built on, that trying to be local, have some more local, closer to home decision making.
Sure.
People on our board of directors that are right in our communities, and so like with our board, we have people spread across our footprint, but represent each of the areas. So trying to be a little more Main Street than necessarily corporate decisions made out
Wall
of the
Street.
area. Correct. Yeah. Yep.
So like, if somebody was going to ask you, say, a credit decision, say on a business loan, what would be the difference with a say closeness of the type of term that as far as your turnaround compared to the big banks? I'm assuming you're quicker.
We hope to be, right. That now depending on the complexity or,
Sure.
or the type of loan, but for, especially up to a certain dollar amount, we have some authority just right here in town with my group that, we can make a decision in a day or that same day if we have the right information. Now the larger or more complex, then it takes us a little bit longer, but still we have input from and access to decision makers on a day-to-day basis to try to give people feedback as quickly as possible.
Now, did you start in the commercial loan with the bank, or did you start doing something else when you started back in '01?
Here at Seaway Northstar, I started in the commercial area. That was what I was doing at the banks that I was previously with. So Roy asked me to come over, and at the time I was the only commercial person. So from application to closing, that was doing the whole thing. So until we could grow a little bit and hire additional staff.
And what would you say today, how many comprise of the commercial department roughly?
Here in our market, we have 3 other lenders.
Okay.
We have, if you look at support staff, we have another 3 people. Overall, in our Northstar Bank's commercial loan area, we probably are now up to about 40 people.
Okay.
So across our footprint.
And when you say Northstar and your footprint, give me an idea of what that footprint is in general.
Yeah, so we're headquartered in Bad Axe, Michigan. So we're privately owned. The main group of owners are up in that Bad Axe area. So that's our headquarters with some offices up there. Then dropping down here to when Roy started Seaway. So Seaway Community Bank was Port Huron, St. Clair, Algonac, and Richmond.
Yep.
So we still have those offices. So that's our local area here. And then we have an office in Ann Arbor, Michigan with, that's a large office that has, I think about 10 lenders in the Ann Arbor market.
Okay. So I'm guessing that you go all the way to the Thumb out of your office, even in, say, downriver to Algonac, New Baltimore in general?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. That our office, we kind of meet the other offices. So we'll go, up to the north toward Bad Axe. They'll come some south. We'll go, south and west to Ann Arbor to cover mostly our markets, St. Clair, Macomb, Oakland.
Sure.
And then they'll come this way from Ann Arbor to try to kind of fill in.
Is there certain segments of the market that you're looking to do more business in as far as commercial?
Yeah, and as a bank, we're mainly a commercial, business banking and residential mortgage bank. We just, with limited number of offices, that's our main thing. We certainly will do. We want, people's personal accounts, and we'll do auto loans and things like that. But as a smaller bank, business and residential mortgage is our 2 main things. So certainly always looking to grow with local businesses. We love manufacturing. We do commercial real estate. Any type of business though we're open to if it makes sense.
Okay. Now, when did you decide that banking was your thing? Was it in college?
Not really. I took some banking classes as part of college, but at the time I graduated, early 90s, job market wasn't outstanding, and that's the first job offer that I got was to work at the bank. So took it.
Try it out, right?
Yeah. Never with aspirations to just stick with that for a long time career. It just worked that way.
And I find a lot of scenarios like that. Like myself, when I got into sales, it was like, okay, I could do that, right? And then you get into it and you find that it's like anything. If you work it hard and you work it correctly, it's lucrative.
Yeah, right.
Provides for your family. Plenty of business out there, I'm assuming.
Right, for sure. Yes.
Anything else from the standpoint of what you offer at the bank. So you'll loan money to a bank, loan money to a business to grow their business, because obviously businesses growing always need cash.
For sure.
You know, you'll do commercial loans on commercial buildings.
Correct. Yep.
So there's some development going on in the area, whether it's housing, and that always needs cash.
Right. Right.
So you're writing loans to say, we talked before the camera went live of the subdivision going in just south of here. So, you know, you've got a customer there that borrows money to do their underground, to do their streets, to do the build outs.
Yeah, yep, for sure. We, you know, as you say here, right in St. Clair, we did help out with that particular developer. We did do some financing for them to help get the lot set up. As you say, underground, water, sewer, streets, and then now that they're going vertical with some houses,
Sure.
Have helped them there. After the Great Recession, always a little bit of a more risky thing, but for the right people, certainly, you know, we would like to try to help the local area grow with those things. We need housing, so
Yep.
it's good. But yeah, any type of an operating business, as you say, commercial real estate, industrial buildings, commercial buildings, for sure.
Do you do much in Port Huron?
We have a good presence in Port Huron. We have a longtime lender up there that does an outstanding job, Steve Armstrong.
Okay.
So he has a very large portfolio, so very active. We have an office downtown Port Huron right now. We have purchased a former bank branch up in the Fort Gratiot market,
Okay.
and we're just going through our final architectural plans to do some improvements there and try to get that opened here in the coming months.
Okay.
So for sure.
So you have 2 locations in Port Huron then,
Yep.
when that's done? The
Yep.
north end of Port Huron, Fort Gratiot.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So how big of a portfolio of commercial businesses is in a bank like that? Is it hundreds of millions?
Yes.
Okay.
As a bank, you know, we're still a small bank.
Yes.
We're a little over 900 million. Our commercial portfolio locally, our commercial portfolio is about 165 million.
Okay.
As a bank in whole, we are approximately 650 million.
Okay.
So of our assets are in commercial loans.
Sure.
So you can, you know, so we are a big segment of our bank.
Now, I'm guessing that with a bank that has the holding company in Bad Axe, a large percentage of business in Bad Axe, which is not a big community, is farming.
Yes.
So I'm guessing that that was probably started out of farming
Yes.
back in the day.
Yep. Our ownership group are into manufacturing, so they're actually a large employer with some of their manufacturing businesses up there. But you are exactly right. A big segment of the bank up there and what they do is agricultural. It's
Sure.
still a very big business in that market, and so definitely.
Well, a lot of people don't realize farming and how it works, and I'll just throw this out there and we'll have the discussion about that, but like farming isn't just as easy as just go out there and plant your stuff and expect it to grow. You've got tractors now that, and I don't know the exact number, but tractors that cost $200,000, $400,000, maybe more. You've got, if you're building silos, you could be talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. So you're talking about big operations with big expenditures, and especially where it might be, you might be scaling something up or building another barn or a milking barn or whatever. You may need some money for the next 6-8 months before your crops come in. So normal case of business, correct?
Very, very true. Yeah, and farming, like many things, the days of a lot of small farms are kind of over with.
Right.
The farms that are left just keep growing and growing and growing, and the equipment is, I'm no agricultural
Right.
expert, but in talking to some of the people, you know, you can pay $1 million for a combine
Right.
with a new corn head on it, you know, for example, that
Whatever that is, right?
Yeah, exactly. What you do with that after that, I don't know, but
Right.
but you're right. Yep, provide operating lines of credit for them to plant, and then you know, hopefully you get paid back if Mother Nature's kind
Right.
when they harvest.
Yeah.
And
Well, and it's like the other thing too is with these tractors and combines being so they drive. Now they don't all drive themselves, but they have GPS operations on them. I'm told that they can at least guide you in your, so you're doing less man hours and some of this stuff because of that.
Yeah. The technology is amazing. Just the soil sampling and okay, plant this many seeds here and this many here based on soil conditions. Yeah, and I don't pretend to know not very much about it, but with what they tell me, crazy technology.
Yeah, it's
just like in our vehicles,
Yeah.
it's just crazy.
Fascinating stuff. If we end this interview right now and we don't talk about your wife and children, we're going to get in a lot of trouble.
Yep. I am married. My wife is Colleen. Yep. We've been married for just about 24 years.
You better get this number right.
Yeah. Yep. 4 kids. My oldest, Brendan's 22. He's in school, still playing a little baseball.
Okay.
Then next is Kieran. He's about to start his sophomore year at Marysville. And then I have twins, Quinn and Maggie, about to start middle school. So,
So you're
it's pretty spread out.
Your weekends and your nights are pretty full.
Yeah. Yep. Our social life is chasing kids. Right.
What sports are they playing now?
They are active in their sports. We're into football, I guess.
Okay.
Football's the season. So my sophomore really likes football. He's on the JV football team.
Yeah, Marysville High School?
Marysville High School,
Okay.
Yep. And then Quinn, he's doing junior football. Maggie, she likes tennis and volleyball, so those are kind of her things. And like I say, my oldest, Brendan, played, when going through Marysville High School, he played football, basketball, baseball, but he's been playing some baseball in college.
Where at?
He is now at Cameron University, which is a small Division II university in Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
So, he's out there sweating it out in the 100-degree weather.
So in Oklahoma, parents can't go to see him too often, probably on, the Parents' Day or something?
Yeah. That fortunately, in their conference, they have a package where you can subscribe and watch every game.
Okay.
So, most of our viewing is by way of sitting in front of the computer.
Technology.
Not in person.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
He started at Jackson Community College, so when he was there for a couple of years, we got to see a lot of games. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for coming in. I always learn something new, and good to hear that things are going well at the bank.
Very well.
So,
yes.
If anybody else knows of anybody very interesting like Mr. Moran here, send him my way. Debatable. 586-707-5811. This is number 71 in the books, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.